Welcome to the month of magic brought to you by Delpod Original Podcasts. Please do enjoy and please don't forget to share, subscribe and like. And as always, please feel free to leave a comment.
Glenn Mc Meeking, also known as Glendini. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, Talona, and I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, rather don't ask.
Yeah, yeah.
You know all about it, so some
Yeah,
of it. Yeah.
for sure.
Right, so yesterday we had an attempt, and due to load shedding and poor internet, we had to do it over again. So it can go either or. Either way.
Scene one, take two.
Scene one, take two, yeah. Let's hope there's no take three. So we've
For
just
sure.
been moved to stage 4 load shedding. So good.
Yeah, no,
Good
we've
bomb
also
out.
got that on our side as well.
Is
So
it?
yeah, it's just varying because we on City of Cape Town, so it's always one level down from what the rest of South Africa's on. We've got our own power grid going on there, and
Now you guys are a century ahead, but this
doesn't
dump,
feel like it,
move to PE, then we'll talk again.
eh?
No, this dump that I stay in, everything's falling apart. A couple of years ago, I made a joke with, I'm not too sure if it was Zille or Gustav Rautenbach, which is our councillor. And I said to him, well, if I had to vote for the DA, obviously I'll always vote for them. But let's, for argument's sake, say the Eastern Cape or Port Elizabeth wins the election, or the DA wins the election. When can I expect to get a Table Mountain? Otherwise, there's no point for me in voting for it, because I want a Table Mountain.
Yeah. You'll have to move here, Delano.
So yeah, no Table Mountain, no vote.
Yeah, sure.
Excuse me. No, it's bad. I wanted to vote for them this year, but the IEC suppressed the votes badly. I don't know. I wasn't prepared to stand in the queue for 8 hours.
Yeah, and it was quite crazy.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, Glendini. Let's. I'm struggling with your surname.
That's fine. No problem.
What made you to go into escapology or escapism?
Yeah, escapology. So when I first started out, which was I started collecting magic, and I bought my first pair of handcuffs or shackles from a magic shop in London called Davenports, and then I tried that out, and I saw these guys performing in the UK, these street performers, and the guy got quite a good crowd doing some escape. So that intrigued me, and then I bought my first pair of shackles at Davenports. And for me, it was about something, I won't say new in the market, but maybe more unique, because a lot of guys were doing magic and there weren't a lot of guys doing escapology. Yeah. So that's where I eventually started. And I've since then bridged into magic. I was always into magic, but I was performing as an escape artist before I became a magician. But there's a little bit of magician in the escapology scene as well. Yeah.
It's funny. Like normally, the guys I know, they start off with magic and they stick to magic. However, there's Andre the Hypnotist or Andre Groevier. He also started off as a juggler. Martino also started off as a juggler.
Sure.
And Martino was an awesome guy. Could be a bit of a a-hole at times. I mean, he wasn't the most friendliest of people, but he was my mentor for 15 years. And now Mark Rose Christie, he passed away a couple of years ago from what do you call it? Stomach cancer. But,
Shame.
yeah. But yeah, no, he was deep in his years. So, yeah. Okay, and then can you remember what your first magic trick that you learned?
It was probably a card trick that my dad taught me, and it was a really basic force cards technique. And so that kind of got a few reactions. And then I started collecting, and I bought a couple of books also while I was living in the UK for 2 years. I bought a few books on magic, and then it was getting, some of them came with some cards and a few props. So yeah, I can't remember the exact names of the tricks, but there was definitely one that my dad showed me, which was a forcing of a card, which I thought was quite cool. I don't do a lot of cards, but that was the first one that got me interested.
Yeah, card tricks I love them, but know, it's normally that's one part of the fellowship that I hate is, can I show you a trick? Comes the deck, the deck. We've seen too many card tricks, and there are thousands and thousands of them, and it's sad because the first thing is, oh God, another card trick. But especially the what's it called? I'll show that to you next time. But you take a piece of or freely selected card, and then you tear it up, and then you put it face up, facing you. The face of the card's facing you. And so you put the other half that's not torn on there. So there's you can see where it was torn, and you just go like this. Nothing in this hand, and then the card restores itself, and it's signed as well. So that's an awesome card or card trick. But normally when you give out the deck, they're not interested. Can you roughly remember in getting back how many years? Because it sounds like you stayed in the UK for quite a few years.
Yeah, so I was over there in '96. And I basically took a 2-year working holiday, and spent some time there trying to save some money, of course, with the exchange rate being so good. And then I was sending it home as much as I could. And my mom at that time was putting it in an interest-bearing account for me, which I think in those days was about 16%. So I was 2 years in the UK working at a cash center, and but I traveled quite a bit as well. Not extensively, but so that's kind of what got me started in magic, was finding the magic shops and getting a hold of bookshops that were selling all these magic props and watching the street performers.
And I can imagine back then, you said 96.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
So they must have... Yeah, wait. I'm getting to there. Yeah, it's like a reminder reader as well. I can imagine that there must have been quite a few magic shops in well, depending on where you stayed in the UK, because they are at a point there were, I don't know, tens of these places. I mean, nowadays tenants, and there's still a few that you can really mention that's worth it, but most are online now. So back then,
the only one that I saw was Davenports. It was at Charing Cross Station, so it was the only one that I actually frequented at the time. But now, of course, as you say, everything is online, so you can get stuff within a couple of clicks and wait a few weeks and pray that the stuff arrives. You got to pray hard nowadays, especially.
God, I've got so many things that I'm still waiting for, not necessarily magic, but I probably bought 2-3 grand worth of stuff quite a while back, from AliExpress and eBay, and look, it's gone. There's no way I'm going to receive that. What's your favorite magic act, regardless of whether Escapology or magic?
So well, if I start off with the Escapology, I do quite a unique escape called the Strongbox Escape.
Yes.
It's a pair of handcuffs that are put on you. There's no chain in the middle, so they're quite rigid, and then you put your hands with the handcuffs inside a perspex box where there's cutouts for the hands. The steel bar is then fed through the front of the box to the back of the box, which then also goes through the handcuffs, and then the box is locked shut. So you're basically locked with handcuffs inside of a box. One then puts a cover over the strong box, and you play some awesome music, and you then
misdirection.
Yeah, well, not really, but but just so that no one sees what you're doing. But then you do make an escape, and you basically pull the cover off the box and show the box is empty, still with the handcuffs inside. And what's really cool is the handcuffs can be handed out for examination before the escape as well, which is quite cool. So that's one of my favorite escapes. Magic, I do a lot of kids shows, so there's some really cool magic tricks out there, or props available for kids shows. From my adult perspective, I've got quite a cool one. It's you take a shot glass and you fill it. I forget now the name of what it's called now, but you take a shot glass and you fill it with any kind of liquid, and you put it inside this box, which is quite big, and then you close the lid, and then you can rotate the box round and round and move it forward and backwards, and then open the box again and take the shot glass out, and you can still drink it, and there's no spillage at all. So I just can't remember the name of the trick now.
It's maybe it's better not giving the name, otherwise people are going to Google it, and you see. But it's
quite a cool one, because you can actually open the box upside down, and it's not small, it's about this big, and you can you can actually open it upside down and let the lid flap, and they can see like nothing is falling out, and then you bring the box up normal and remove the shot glass and drink the shot. But there's no spillage, which is quite cool.
Okay. What is magic or escapology to you? I know I asked you the same question yesterday, but this is not take two. So what is magic / escapology? Is it, do you regard it, or do you see it as magic, science, art, trickery, reality?
Well, let's start off with escapology. It's definitely reality. People are using real chains, real ropes, real handcuffs to secure you.
Thank you for mentioning that, because everyone's always under the impression that it's gimmick stuff, and it's
So it is real, and of course there is something that you know how to do to get out of the device, which you don't reveal to the audience. So I think for me, the satisfying thing with escapology is that they can examine the stuff beforehand. They physically tie you, and then I do like a few in-out routines just to add a bit of comedy. So you put your hands under the table, bring one hand up and say, hey, don't tie me too tight. If I get stuck, go fetch some scissors, and then put your hands under the table again, and then bring both hands up, and then you're still secure. So those kind of routines always draw attention and some cool laughter. But then, of course, you have ones where there's no comedy. It's the serious stuff.
The serious stuff.
Okay. So it's an art in terms of what can be done with it. But there is some trickery involved as well, and that's where the magician part comes into the escape artist as well. But for me, it's about the reaction that you get. When these guys have tied you, they're tightest, and they've pulled the chains to a point where you actually are feeling a lot of pain, and then of course you escape, and it's that wow moment that you see in their reaction. So that's interesting to watch. That's what keeps you wanting to go for more. On the escape side, on the magic side, it's I think a similar thing. The guys are not expecting, they're not quite sure what's going to happen. There are a lot of stuff that's available on YouTube. So some of the guys out there that follow magic acts, get to see quite a bit. And even though they might figure out how the trick is done or know how the trick's done, for me, it's about the presentation and how you sell it. The trick is one thing, but it's the patter and the scripting and the stage presentation of that trick that makes it awesome, and the reactions awesome as well.
I always say you are an actor playing the part of an escapologist or a magician. So
there we go.
Depending on how well you act, that determines your audience reaction. So
for sure, you're definitely putting on a lot of drama and making things maybe look a little bit more challenging than they are, but they are challenging. But you just
of course
you just add a bit of drama to it.
Yeah. Have you ever do you create your own or new magic acts? Well, obviously you create your own magic acts, but have you ever created your own routine as such?
Yes, I have. I do it's actually an escape, not so much a magic act, but I do an escape from what's called a shrew's fiddle. A shrew's fiddle is a kind of stock that was used in the 1600s, and it's shaped like a violin. That's where the fiddle name comes from.
Yes.
And it basically secures your neck and your arms. So you're like in this position where it goes around your neck. And I actually, the concept was there that let me try and escape from one. And it wasn't an escape routine that was currently happening around. So I liked there was a lot of history behind it. So I put that together, made it for myself, and then escaped and at a few live shows now already with that particular device. But the history behind it is it was actually used in the 1600s. I think the last country that used it was Switzerland. It was used by men on their wives if their wives were caught gossiping. So they would parade them around the town, and then the townsfolk would throw rotten apples and tomatoes and everything. Not a very nice device based on with the history, but
it would help a lot in South Africa, because we'll see which women gossip. I think let's keep it deep in the 90s. I'm sure we'll be walking around with him.
Yeah, but the uniqueness was that it wasn't just something that I just made up. But there's a bit of history behind it. So
that's awesome.
When I do a stage show, then I've got a backtrack that kind of plays a bit of the history of the shrew's fiddle. So that was one thing that I actually created as an escape for myself, which it's gone down well.
Before the next question, let's just add a bit of humor into it. You brought up the hair now. Now, you've clearly made peace with it. Now, I'm starting to develop that problem. Any ideas? You're not a doctor, but any advice would be more than welcome.
Yeah, look, anything beats a comb over. So if you are getting to the point, I often just shave it all off and go for the clean bald head look. And,
I don't know if my head isn't shaped correctly. You've got a round, perfectly round. Mine's not going to work out.
Look, it's in. If you look at the likes of Jason Stratham and Vin Diesel, that bald head look is in. So I think it's a lot more acceptable in today's society than it was 30, 40 years ago.
Yes,
So if it happens, it happens. Just keep it short, but just avoid a comb over.
Baldy man. It's like three hair running down. Yeah.
There we go.
Have you? Okay, and this is one that I normally ask a lot of. Well, everyone. Have you ever messed up either escapism or magic? But have you ever messed it up? And if so, how did you manage to correct it or not reveal the secret behind it?
Okay, so I've messed up a few times on the Escapology front. It's a reality. What you're doing is real. So I was doing a corporate gig, and it was my finale, and I was shackled from head to toe and put inside a mail bag. The neck of the mail bag was choked with a chain, and there was a combination lock on the outside. The lock, I couldn't get it open. At the point, I'd escaped from everything inside the bag. All the chains and shackles were lying at the bottom of the bag, but I couldn't get the neck of the bag open, and my stagehand had to come up and let me out. So
Glenn,
that was my finale of the show.
It was the finale of you almost.
Yeah. But you stand up and you just say to the guys, look, what I do is real. Today or tonight it didn't work out, and you take your bow, and people still appreciate your honesty, and you tried. Obviously you would have loved to have gotten out, but just on that night,
Yeah, it's reality. It's
things
reality.
didn't happen.
Yeah, things do
Yeah.
happen. I mean,
And then,
I've done.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it shows yours.
Okay. Yeah, no, and then with magic, I've sliced my finger a few times. There's a routine I do in one of my kids' shows called a blooming blossom, and I was moving my finger to reveal the flower on the blossom. So the blossom disappears and reappears, and sliced my finger. So I had to use a magic prop in order to cover up my thumb. Also referred to as a TT.
TT.
But I'm not gonna tell you or the audience what that is. If they want, they can go and look it up. That was my cover for a bleeding thumb.
Well, luckily it fitted on there. Otherwise,
for sure
would have had to make a different plan there.
Yeah, but with all the mishaps, you need to look at what went wrong, and you kind of analyze it, and you put measures in place to ensure that that doesn't happen again. And I think it just makes you a better performer going forward. I think we've all been there at some point, but it's how you bounce back and how you recover.
Yeah, well, it's whether you perform for kids or grown-ups. I mean, I know I asked you, have you ever messed up? Of course you've messed up. I mean, if you had to tell me, no, I'm not going to say on the show, no, you're talking shit. But obviously you must have. I mean, that's the way you learn. And
for sure.
I don't know if you're familiar with Jordan Peterson.
I don't know him, no.
He's a professor, Dr. Jordan Peterson. And he also said that one cannot possibly become a master unless you're willing to be a fool. So you're a fool while you learn, and as you learn, and eventually you master it.
Yeah.
So we don't like the word fool, but I mean, used in context, you are a fool until you've mastered it or become a master in what you're doing. So, why is it what's the big fuss when it comes to keeping secrets? Escapology, magic. What's the big fuss about? Was it of paramount importance to keep it a secret in the art of magic? And magic, I'll now include with escapology.
Yeah, well, obviously, if you're doing a gig, and the audience, because it's all out there all over the place, if they know 95% of the tricks or the escapes and how they're done, it might lower the applause or the reactions you may get. And of course, some of these secrets, have been guarded for many years. So you don't want to make them freely available. So there is a large following of magic, especially on YouTube and things like that. And if you want to learn stuff, you can go find it probably on YouTube. But generally people, they might look at it now and it's interesting now, and then they'll forget. So even though they might know the secrets, you can probably still fool them or give them a good show 2 years down the line or 6 months down the line. But a lot of guys have worked hard on creating the magic. And of course, you do get these guys that are all over YouTube that demonstrate the trick, and then someone steps forward and shows how the trick is done in front of everybody. And so that's a bit sad. So I think it's done in the wrong way. It's just to get views and hits, and but it's a lot of guys have put their blood, sweat, and tears into creating the product, and they've made a living from creating those products. And then to have someone just go and put it out there on a YouTube channel to reveal it, it's a bit sad.
I think it's just on a different scale, because back in the day, we had to go to a library and get, if you're lucky enough to get 3 or 4 books. But I mean, those tricks were also revealed. Nowadays, it's obviously on a gigantic scale. And I'll be honest with you, often, I mean, if I don't look, everything works on the same principle, or most of it. So, I mean, you can show me whatever magic trick and I'll figure it out, or say, I think this and there might miss if I watch a second or third time, I'll obviously pick it up. But I've approached YouTube and check this is how this trick is done, and then make the gimmick yourself. I mean, it's better than buying it. So not that I don't want to support the magicians creating it, but I mean, 10, 20 years ago, I would have had to go to a library anyway. So Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and I
don't
think
want to.
there's a very small amount of people that actually, go and if you look at the percentage of a population versus how many go and research
Yeah,
magic, they research it for now so they can impress a friend, but then later on, they'll remember you for how you presented it and how you maybe used a different script or different pattern to make that particular routine even more impressive. So yeah, it's there is always going to be a community that will follow magic closely, and when you do a show, they're watching you to see, can they see this hand doing that, or can they see this covering that up? But it's a small percentage, so I don't stress too much about that. And of course, with kids, they'll say to you, I know how you did that, and okay, good, well, keep it yourself and be a magician and don't spoil it for the rest, and you move on.
Who's your favorite magician, by the way? Apart from Houdini or
yeah, well, obviously he's my mentor.
And Glendini, you can't choose Glendini. Glendini is not an option.
Yeah, there's a few that I keep an eye on. A couple of the guys have been around for a while. Chris Angel does some freaky stuff. Of course, David Copperfield as well. Then the likes of Dynamo and what's the guy that got frozen in ice?
Yeah, David Blaine. Yeah, he's awesome.
But there are also some really good guys locally in South Africa, and that have also shown me a few things at the College of Magic. So, you kind of get a little bit of information sharing at some meetings and things like that. So, but yeah, I haven't got a particular favorite. Obviously, Escapology, it's going to be Houdini. But other magic, I've learned a lot from so many people, and watching some self-teaching videos and things like that. So there's a lot of really good guys out there.
Yeah, difficult to pinpoint. So
yeah, no, I can't pinpoint it.
There's something I wanted to say now about. Forgot it now. How challenging is it to make a career out of either what you do or magic? Well, you do both anyway. So let's just say escapology and magic, especially during these times with the whole, with the whole COVID.
Yeah. So let's speak about COVID. So. Obviously our shows, with the different levels of lockdown, the shows were impacted and public gatherings were impacted and things like that. So last year I didn't do that many shows. I think if I did 30, it was a lot. It was probably close to 20, which for me, I average about 4 to 6 a month. So definitely saw a drop there. And of course, then when the levels were lifted, things started picking up again. So I do it part-time at this moment because I do have a 9-to-5 job, but things are picking up now as we speak. In November 2021, I've had a couple of really good months, and I think now that vaccinations are taking place, even though it's at a slow rate, people are getting more vaccinated. They're feeling a bit more safe, and the shows are picking up. I'm getting a lot of interest between now and the rest of this month, and of course early December. Which is good for the entertainment industry. It's really sad to see how many performers have battled during this time. But I
know. I'm not going to mention the name, but a family member that who I'm talking about. 2 years back, he had 2 potential bookings, and they were also subject to cancellation. And I'm not too sure whether the 2 got through or it was probably cancelled, because I'm sure he would have informed me about. And okay, thank God he's got a thing on the sideline with what he's doing. But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that, and that's all he does.
Yeah.
So what do you do? There's no 9 to 4, 8 to 4 job there. So
yeah. I know a lot of people in the events and entertainment and hospitality industries that have been impacted, and it's devastating what this pandemic has done to so many good people. It's heartbreaking. Yeah.
And what's your advice to people who wish to become either a Glendini or well, whatever magician?
Yeah. Well, for me, the advice is, choose if you're starting to do with, let's with magic, choose 5 to 7 routines that you really like, and rehearse them, practice them, become really good at them. Demonstrate them in front of some friends and family that you trust, that can give you valuable feedback, and then build from there. And that's exactly what I did when I started out. You do a couple of shows and you donate your time to charitable events. When you get your routine to a point where you think, okay, well, this actually works fairly smoothly and it plays well, then reach out and start doing a few paid gigs. And even though you're still doing it in early stages, you develop from there.
Yes.
And so there's lots of DVDs out there, self-teaching DVDs. I'm fortunate enough that the College of Magic is a few kilometers away from where I stay, and I've attended a few of their sessions when it was face to face, and met some amazing people at the Cape Magician Circle that I've also interacted with, and they've shown me a few things as well. So I've learned from that. My Escapology was purely a DVD series that I purchased. And, there's a guy called Dixie Dooley. He's a Vegas performer, and he's got a 4 DVD series out called Escapology. And that got me started. There was enough in there for me to put together a half-an-hour show. And it wasn't that expensive to get some of the props. And, you can buy them at your local hardware store. So that got me started into Escapology. But a lot of it is from self-taught, self-teaching DVDs as well.
And I can only assume that you really need patience in order to get the escapes all down to the T, because I'll just I won't even lockpick it. I'll just grab a ball or something. That's a lot easier, man. I'd prefer watching you do it, because I don't have I'm very impatient. So
now I can teach you a few things when you're next in Cape Town. I can show you a few.
I'll come around as long as it's quick ones. I don't want to sit in a straight jacket for 45 minutes, or you do it in probably 5 or 10.
It's been shorter. I've worked out my technique on how to get out. And of course, I don't want to reveal the secrets, but there are ways of getting out.
In or out.
And always out.
I think that's it. Any further plans where you can I know you've got a 85 or 95 job, 85, but any, what do you call it, any future plans of getting on TV again, or appearing on TV again?
I've been on TV a few times. I think the first was SA's Got Talent. Then it was CakeNet's Yo Show. And then just recently, a magician colleague, friend of mine, Reichardt Loebscher, had a series on Bricks TV. I did a performance there for him. So when they come around, I'll definitely, it's always nice to be on TV, and you kind of play it back, and then you're your own worst critic.
But you have to be. You have to be.
No, exactly. But it's if it comes along, I'll definitely do it. But I'm available. Generally, because of my 8 to 5 job, I'm available mainly weekends and public holidays for now. But it's definitely an opportunity when I am forced to retire. That I'll definitely pick it up and do it full time. Going
absolutely. Reichart's an awesome guy. We're not gossiping. I mean, he knows exactly.
He's a great guy.
He's got an unbelievable amount of energy. I'm like, yes. I wish I can have half the amount. Well, no, half is a bit exaggerating. 10%. 10% would be perfect. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's just got that, I don't know, call it the X factor. There's just something,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I fully agree with you. I've seen a few of his videos. I haven't seen him perform live for a while, but yeah, he definitely has the energy, and he's got that warmness and that smile, and yeah,
Beautiful guy. Yeah.
really,
Awesome.
really awesome guy. And you can see his audience love him as well, which is really great.
Yeah. No, well, if you don't like him, then I would highly suggest go see a psychologist or something, because you've got serious problems. All right. Now for the man of the moment. Have you got a trick or two for us?
Yeah, I've got two lined up.
Sorry, man. I actually wanted to work it in halfway, but I thought, well, the internet's on, so let's go through it. And then,
yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do this one first. Just let me know if you can see it closely. You see it?
You're gonna have to move the camera down a bit.
Okay, let me just move it a bit further back. Is that making a difference?
No. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so can you see the whole box?
Pretty much where the box makes contact with the table. That part is like not really in there. So
Okay,
maybe
just tell me left or right. This way.
No, move the camera down maybe a centimeter or two. Just move the camera down a centimeter or two. Okay, move it now. Move the box to you. Perfect. Yeah, I say beautiful.
Right, so you can see my face and you can see the box.
We can't see your face now. No.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Well, we can go with this along. So, are you a gambling man?
Not really, but let's make an exception. Yeah, today I am.
Yeah. So, if you didn't know that, when you go and gamble at the casinos, one of the best chances you've got is to either play roulette or it's to play blackjack. The odds are more stacked in your favor. Okay. So, with this particular routine, I'm going to give you a 75% chance stacked in your favor. And we've got a case here, and inside this case there is actually a prize if you select the correct peg.
Is that a guarantee? Is that a guarantee, Glenn? Because I know where you work and I know you are doing very well for yourself. So I just want this on record.
Yeah. So if you guess the correct peg, there will be an incentive and possibly a credit to a banking account in the name of Delano at Delano Else.
Oh.
If you get it correct, so you've got a 75% chance of getting it correct. What I need you to do is to choose a color. So we've got yellow, we've got like an orange, we've got white, and we've got green. So you're going to choose 3 pegs for me in terms of which, but one at a time, letting me know which one you would want to go for, and you might win some money.
One at a time. I'll go for green.
Green. Okay, so we're going to reveal green. Okay, and nothing has fallen. Okay, so unfortunately, no prize there. But yeah, please go ahead and choose another peg.
You said orange.
Yellow,
yeah.
Orange, and white. Yeah. Orange. Yeah. So there's no prize there. Okay, unfortunately, you're down to a 50-50 chance now.
Oh, let's not be a racist. Yellow.
Okay, so we're going to go for yellow. Okay, and unfortunately for you, there's no prize for you today, and the remaining peg is for me, Delano. But I gave you a 75% chance, and if you'd selected the white peg, then you would have won yourself 200 Rand.
Damn, Glenn, can we do it again?
Unfortunately, no. So that's what you would have won yourself. But
wow,
yeah, the odds were stacked in the magician's favor in that round.
That is awesome.
Thanks for playing. Never gamble with a magician.
No, I'll figure that one out when you ask me. Okay, let's give it a shot anyway.
Okay, the other one I've got, just let me know if you can see the whole thing.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so this is again, this is a freedom of choice, and you've got the choice of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different numbers and of 6 different cards. But I'd like you to choose one card. Before you do that, I just want to let you know that I have written on the back of this board a prediction that I'm hoping that you're going to make. And if you don't make it, then obviously I've lost the plot, but if the prediction is right, then I was spot on, because I had this premonition this morning. Can you see the top of the board? Can I just check? Can you see over here?
No.
Okay, so let me move that a bit further away. Okay, let me know now. You can see the top?
Yeah, the bottom part isn't that important, is it?
No, well, let me just try again.
Because
I'm going to try and move it a bit further away.
perfect.
Is that
Yeah.
good?
So I
Okay,
need
so give me
only
a
one
number.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So I've only got one choice.
You got one choice. I've made a prediction. I've written something on a piece of paper at the back of this board, and I'm hoping you're going to make the right choice. You've got a 6 in 1 or 1 in 6 chance of choosing the correct prediction that I've written down.
You have a gamble with a magician, but 5.
5. Okay, so just want to confirm 5 is this one over here.
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna place it at the top over here, and I'm gonna give you an option. You can change your mind, or you can keep that card. You can swap if you want to, or you can stick with that card if you want to.
Golden rule, stick to it. But
Okay.
I'm gonna go for 3.
You're gonna swap this one for 3.
I'm gonna
Okay,
break the rule.
Okay, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna insert it, and you decided you want to go for 3. Okay, so I'm gonna remove 3. I'm gonna place it in the top. Okay, and that's your final. Your final choice.
Sure.
So, Delano, between you and me, I'm actually so glad you made that swap, because if you hadn't, we'd be in a bit of trouble. Because on the back of this card, I have got a prediction, and I'm just not sure if you can see it. And it'll say,
wow. Okay, that is
the ace of spades. So well done. If you'd chosen, you spoke number 5 was the king. So I'm so glad you made the swap. So well done.
Sure.
So that's our prediction board.
That is a really cool, and it really packs small. Pack small, play big.
Pack flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what life's all about when you're traveling from venue to venue.
Sure. Awesome. Yeah. So anything else from Glendini?
No, just, of course, it's getting towards Christmas time, so I've got a couple of things lined up. I've been asked to take part in the what we call the Noddy Party, or here in Cape Town. It's a charitable event, and the kids come and they support a charity by paying an entry fee, and then they've got Noddy and big ears, and they've got a whole lot of clowns running around, and then they get me as a magician. So that'll be for about 6 days coming up. Looking forward to it sometime in December. But it's only like 10 or 15 minutes per evening, but it gives me an opportunity to meet a different audience every night.
Yep.
And of course, I'll have my branding up as well, so that they can see my name, and hopefully get a few more bookings from that as well.
Just hopefully the kids don't book you for the escapism, and the parents, well, the parents can book you for magic, but and you okay, we'll speak off air about the promos, but I'd like to add a promo or 2 in there because this is all planned to get some exposure out there. And
okay, great.
This year will be different. I'm 100% convinced, but things are improving, but you need to where you work. So once you fall behind, you're behind. There's not a thing such as catching up. You'll always be behind. So so that's the idea with the whole month of magic, month of entertainment. But okay, thank you so much, and we'll definitely be in contact again.
Thanks for having me on your show. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Go well.